Well, hello everybody. It's Wednesday. It's Ask Dave Fennoy Anything. Fred can't be with us this evening because he's busy taking care of some business that he needs to take care of. So it's just me. But then it's basically just me anyway, right? Okay. If you're on GoToWebinar, how you doing? Facebook, how you doing? Well, where is everybody? Anyway, want to start talking about something that was on my mind. I was working with a student today, and she was having some problems with a script. She had a certain way she wanted to say the phrases, the sentences, and it wasn't quite coming out the way she wanted. And she felt like that she wasn't going to be able to do it because the particular way she heard it in her head, she couldn't do. And I think a lot of us as voiceover actors go through that. We hear it a certain way in our head, and maybe the way we're hearing it isn't really in the music of our voice, particularly in character work. And we have this idea sometimes that there's just one way to say this phrase that is going to make it work. And that's just wrong. And I tell you why we feel that way. We can blame television and movies because our favorite actors have said something at some point in some TV show or some movie, and that line has become famous the way that actor said it. But I can almost guarantee you that there were a number of takes of whatever that line is. And the reason that the particular take was chosen may not be because it was the best take. It may be because, well, the actor was supposed to have a glass in this hand when his very best take was being said, but for some reason he screwed up continuity and he had it in this hand. And so they took a take that may not have been his favorite or the best one, but it was adequate and good enough that now that the movie's out, well, we don't know what we missed. And now we have fallen in love with the way that actor said that line, and we can only imagine that being said that way for all eternity. Well, the truth of the matter is, with movies and television, they live on and on and on, and those lines are the same every time we watch them. But if you go to the theater, go see a play 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 times, especially if you go several times in a row. You can ask them to give you a free ticket. Tell them Dave Fennoy said it's for training. And watch how very good actors will change up a line, its delivery, day in and day out. The shows are never quite exactly the same. The performances can be brilliant, but they're a little different. How each actor approaches those lines show after show after show is going to be different every show. The job is to be the character you are, whether that character is you, if you're doing a commercial or a narration, or animation or video game, is be true to the character you're playing. And you can say it several different ways that are all going to be really, really good. Okay, that said, let's see what questions we have. Okay, Eric from Richmond, Texas. Hey, Eric. Howdy, Dave. It's been a good minute since I've joined the live webinars, but I've been watching the YouTube videos religiously. Not a question, just a comment. Thank you. Maybe it's me, but you sound like you're in a cave. Volume is down. Okay, is that better? We're getting better sound there. Anybody else hearing it that way? Like in a cave? Yep, Michael says it is too. Well, let's go to options here. Let's go to preferences and see what's going on. Webcam is right. General. I don't know what the issue may be. Audio. audio input is mic. Is that better there? I have a feeling that's better. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's better. Sorry about that. Well, I think on Facebook you were hearing it just fine. Yes, of course you were. Anyway, let's, thanks for letting me know that. Much appreciated. I have to turn my volume all the way up to hear you. Is it fixed now? Let me know. Is it fixed now on GoToWebinar? And meanwhile, let me find out what questions we may have on Ask Dave Fennoy Anything from my friends on Facebook. Okay. And hey, V, what's up? Mrs. Valentina. Hey, Nancy. Hey, William. Burl. Okay. Hey, Thomas. Getting hello, everybody. But where are the questions? Will you be at the Star Wars Celebration 2019 in Chicago? That's a good question. It's a little early. You do sound a bit muffled, still audible though. I've volume up in my interface. Sounds better. Good. Oh, here's a question. Have you done theater? Yes, as a child, growing up in Cleveland, I was an actor on stage at Caramoo House, which is a community theater. And any black actors that you see in movies or television from Cleveland, Ohio, they all did some work on at Caramoo. Played some music there. I was learning to play trumpet and then a little guitar. Did modern dance, acting lessons, also art. I did sculpture and painting. My parents wanted to introduce me to as much culture as they could. And fortunately or unfortunately, it's stuck. Father, doctor, mother, school teacher, veterinarian doctor. My sister's a doctor. I got a niece that's a doctor. And hey, look at me. Long hair. And what do I do for a living? Run my mouth. The black sheep of the family. Let's see. Besides Facebook, what other channels do you use for live streams? I've noticed you answer questions from people who don't appear on Facebook. That's GoToWebinar. It's GoToWebinar, and it too is absolutely free. And let's see. Okay, got a bingo. So yes, the sound must be good. Yes. Okay, now excellent. Now ask some questions there. GoToWebinar. Let's see. Hey, Jim Tasker, what's going on? Great voice there. One of the things that is most rewarding about doing this is noticing my fellow voice actors who are tuning in. And, sometimes when people ask a question, by the way, feel free to jot your answer. Your answer may be a little different from mine or may have some insight beyond what it was I said. So, Jim, that's for you and others. Hello, Lee Michaels. Tiffany, what acting classes should I take to help strengthen my VO delivery? Well, acting classes make you a better actor. When you say strengthen your VO delivery, are you talking about being more in character, engaging the person you're talking to more? That could be an acting class, but I think your best bet is to continue to study voiceover, and depending on what genre, because different genres require different things. If you're going to do e-learning and corporate narration, your enunciation needs to be more clear and precise. It's all about information. If you're doing commercials, it's all about connecting to a particular demographic. If you're doing animation, it's becoming that wacky character that has a life. If you're doing video games, and these are all generalities. If you're doing video games, you're looking at being a good actor, at taking the words off the page, and being the kind of actor that reflects real humans in various situations. So, depending on what it is you want to do, I would take some classes in that area. And I've had the good fortune of working some in everything. I have done and continue to do a lot of commercials. I have done and do TV promos and trailers. I have done and do animation and video games. And what I've learned is you kind of have to turn on and off certain things. You have to understand the medium you're working in and bring to each one the elements that make it work. All right, Dave, are you willing to share your thoughts on the current Dos Equis campaigns without Jonathan Goldsmith or the current KFC campaigns with multiple actors playing Colonel Sanders? Do you think they're working? Wow. Well, I really love Jonathan Goldsmith as the most interesting man in the world. I haven't warmed up to the new most interesting man in the world. Perhaps over time I will. It'll be like a hit record that you didn't like the first time you heard it, and you hear it over and over again. After a while, it's just in there, and you can like it and then start hating it again because you hear it too much. I don't really care about the Colonel Sanders thing. If I had to say, yeah, it's kind of cute. I guess it works. I'm not that moved by him one way or the other. I think it's interesting that they're trying new things, trying new colonels. I've got some other business with the whole Colonel and Kentucky Fried Chicken to begin with, so let's not go any deeper into that. Let's see. Okay, hearing me loud and clear there. Sensei, how do you practice subtly if you're the only judge without listening to yourself over and over again? Well, that becomes an issue. Sometimes if no one is there that can give you another opinion and an educated opinion about what it is you're doing, you begin practicing mistakes. You begin practicing, I think it should sound like this, so I'm going to do this. And then that practice becomes a habit. And then one day you go, gee, I'm not booking. I've been doing this for 3 years. Nobody's ever booked me. Maybe I should get some lessons. Well, by that time, you have very much ingrained whatever it is you're doing wrong into habit. My suggestion would be save yourself all that headache and start by taking some lessons and classes from people who are bona fide, who can, steer you in the right direction. And I know that can be difficult, but there are a lot of good teachers out there. And if you start searching the internet, who the good teachers are will come up. You will find them. And if you're not sure, ask them for some references. I know I myself, I'm happy to give you some references of people all over the world that have trained with me that it has worked for them. But yeah, you do have to be careful. And once again, get the training first. Start with good habits as opposed to habits you think you should have. All right. Okay. Do you have multiple agents? Yes, I do. I have an agent here in San Francisco, in Chicago, in Dallas, in New York, in Atlanta, Seattle, a few other places, overseas. We live in a world now that is getting smaller and smaller, and thanks to technology, you got a Mac, a microphone, and a high-speed internet connection, you can work anywhere in the world. So it behooves you to have a presence in as many places as you can. So yes, I do, and you can too. All right. Hey, Mark, how are you? Bob Gore, what's up? Tiffany, exactly. There's something wrong with the video. Is there something wrong with the video? It's Thomas, what's up here? What percentage of your time do you spend being trained by others? It's a very small percentage now because just the amount of time I have free. I work a lot. I teach a lot. I travel a lot for teaching, but from time to time, well, at least once or twice a year, I try to get somebody else's ears and thoughts on some reads that I'm doing. I truly believe every actor needs direction. You can be a very, very good actor, have the script, and not understand the direction that the client or the director want to go in until you talk to the client or the director. So it doesn't do you any good to doing voiceover in a vacuum. You are part of whatever project it is you're working on, cartoon, game, commercial, narration, whatever. Somebody is in charge and putting all the elements together, and you're just one of those elements. There's the music, there's the writing, there's your voice. There are the other actors if it's animation or video games. Even other actors sometimes when you're a commercial. So you are part of something. Let's see. What are your thoughts about the SAG-AFTRA member being a SAG working non-union? Thank you for your response. We live in a really tough world now in terms of unions and work. We have to live in the same world that the rest of Americans live in. And when you just look at what has happened to prices or wages over the past 50 years, they have remained stagnant. And in our business, they have gone down. Thanks to the internet and voices.com and Voices123 and the number of people in our business now, there has been a lot of pressure to bring prices down. There's a lot of non-union work out there. Now, the union has not made it impossible for you to have its benefits and still do non-union work. You can, you don't quite lose your membership, but you can go FICOR, and you still pay your dues. They still track your money from your union jobs, and you still get your benefits, but you're allowed to do other jobs. There are a lot of people who are very, very against actors who do FICOR. I am more lenient in my thoughts because I know people have to make a living and put food on the table for their families. But the very best world would be for us all to be working union and constantly pushing our wages up, because we haven't really had good wages and increases in what we make in a long, long time. And that's not just us as voice actors. That is the typical American worker. And for some reason, we have a lot of people that keep voting for the people who refuse to pay us, although they've had a 500% raise over the last 40 years. But don't get me started. Is there a resource website for talent to find coaches? There are several. What's it called? I'm on it. Open Coaches is available, and that's a resource that has been put together, opencoaches.com, and they have a variety of very good coaches. You can also look in the voiceover guide. You can just Google voiceover guide. There are a lot of coaches there. And once again, do your homework. And not every good coach is the right coach for you. You want to work with somebody whose language you understand. There's more than one person out there that's great for commercials or promos Of course, I'm the only one for video games. No. But find somebody whose language you understand and you connect with, and they connect with you. They're out there. Okay. Oh, you're welcome, Randall. Kabir, what's up, man? We're going to be working together soon. You're welcome, Melody. No problem with video. Gabriel Kunda, my man, you're going to be a star. Who's that standing behind you? You must be talking about, are you talking about the little statue? Can you even see that? There's nobody standing behind me. It's, Jim, you're just messing with me, aren't you? Oh, that Jim Tasker. All right, let's go over here and see what we've got. Yeah, okay, somebody can't. It's a Dave Fennoy action figure in the background. I'm going to tell you, they have, sometimes you can go to a place that you stand in that circle of lights and cameras, and they take a picture in your pose. And from that picture, they can do a 3D image, and that's what that is. Jim, yeah. You did make me look, though, Jim. Yeah, thank you. When creating your demos, should you have a variety of genre-style demos, or those for genres are the strongest, or those genres you are seeking work? Okay. Let's talk about demos and genres. The people who want to hear TV promos don't want to hear cartoons, don't want to hear video games. You need promos, demos for each genre. And actually, the truth of the matter is now we are getting demos that are specific to particular areas of a particular genre. So you might have an automotive demo that's strictly for cars and car parts. You might have a demo that's strictly for medical. So you're talking about hospitals and insurance. You might have one that's strictly for cosmetic products. It is getting that specific these days. But you should have demos for at least for each genre that you want to work in. So a commercial demo, narration demo, a TV promo demo, a trailer demo. They can be different. Animation demo and a video game demo. And then you might want to get into an e-learning demo and a corporate narration demo and a live announced demo, and the list can go on and on and on. And that will become very expensive over time, but if you're working in a particular area, you can get somebody to help you put together some of the work that you've already done. But yeah, the people who are listening to, video game demos do not want to hear your commercial demo, do not want to hear your narration demo, do not want to hear your TV promo demo. Okay? Okay. Have you seen Avengers Infinity War? Not yet. I'm going to. Let's see. What's the difference between a character demo, an animation demo, and a video game demo, or is there one? Okay, usually when I'm talking character demo, I'm talking video game character demo. However, there are commercial character demos where instead of being just, that straight-ahead voice that's selling product, that voice that's really kind of you, now you're doing characters that, almost maybe cartoony or very different or very unique characters for commercial demo. So sometimes when you see character demo, that's what they're talking about. I typically, when I say character, I'm talking video games. And you need a different video game and animation demo because video games tend to lean into drama. Animation tends to lean into comedy. And although video game reads started coming out of animation and animation voices, it's a different animal. I look at the kind of animation I've done. It's typically adventure cartoons, the Spider-Mans, that kind of thing, as opposed to the goofy cartoons. And I think that's why I'm able to do both, because the cartoons I do are more like the video games. Okay. Have you been given scripts that just don't make any sense? And how do you interpret it with no given reference or even read style listed? Sometimes you do get that, and I think it happens in every genre. Bad writing, it's just bad writing, and sometimes how things are phrased don't make any sense, or you're not sure what the message is. Yes, I've had bad scripts like that, and you scratch your head and you do the best you can. Sometimes you just have to rely on your instinct. You've got a script that doesn't give you a lot of information about who the character is, who they're talking to, what the demographic should be. Then you've got to use your brain and your best judgment and give them what you think they want, or better yet, give them what makes sense to you. I like that answer better. Give them what makes sense to you as opposed to what you think they want, because I think you always have a better shot if you are true to yourself as opposed to sublimating yourself to try to give somebody something that they want. Same way in relationships. You got to be yourself. You can't be somebody else for somebody else. You got to be you. Waxing philosophical. In many other unions, there are steps that go from journeyman to master or something like that. I don't really see that in SAG-AFTRA setup, or am I missing something? No, you're not missing anything. You're in, you're out. You don't have to work a certain number of hours to make it from journeyman to master. Typically, those are in the trades, carpenter, plumber, machinist, that kind of thing. All right. Okay. Luc de Villars. Hi, Dave. Always looking great as always. Why, thank you. One question. As a voice actor, can you discuss about the script, for example, when you feel the dialogue is not right, or out with the character, basically discuss script changes through a discussion for video games, animation films, of course. Cheers. There are times you're going to run into a script that is not that good in any genre. In video games, your opportunity to bring that into discussion is on the job. And I think the first thing you should do, rather than show up and start, I was reading through your script and, there are some changes that need to be made. Give them what they want. Make suggestions when you can. Don't be married to those suggestions. After all, you're being brought in to be a part of this thing. It's not all about you. That said, I have worked on a few games where I've made suggestions, and those suggestions have been taken. On a particular game, a character that I was playing gets killed. And the character was very heroic throughout the game, and then in the death scene that had been written, he's going out like a coward and begging for his life. And I suggested to the director that, this just doesn't seem to make sense for this character to be this guy all along, heroic, tough guy, and then goes out like a wuss? It doesn't make sense. I didn't tell her she had to rewrite it or anything I just pointed it out. At the next session, and sometimes, if you're in a game, you're playing a big role, you'll have several sessions, they had rewritten the death. So it can happen. And I think if you bring it up with the right attitude, as opposed to, look, you're wrong, I'm right, you've got to change this, that you really want to help the project, not just make yourself look good. Your suggestions may be taken, but don't think you're going to get a writer's credit. Okay. Tiffany, my agency doesn't want me to contact clients, so I'm not provided with email, full name or phone number, even after the job. Is that normal? That's fairly normal, but when you're working with them, that's your opportunity to create a relationship. And, if you like them, they like you. I have clients that have become friends. And no, they're not, calling me all the time behind my agent's back. They understand how the game is played. But sometimes you have an agency that is concerned, and probably rightly, because somebody got together with a client and said, well, you don't have to call my agent next time. Just call me. We can work out a little deal. And then you're really cheating your agency. So no, your agency probably doesn't want to give you a lot of information about clients and whatnot. But that doesn't mean when you're on the job that you can't create a relationship with that client. As a matter of fact, when you create relationships, good relationships with a client, the work tends to keep coming. People like to work with people they like. All right. Da-da-da-da. That's not uncommon, Tiffany. I try to get that info myself. Jim Tasker answering your question. Thank you, Jim. Thank you. Yeah, we all kind of do. We all would like to talk more with our clients and make suggestions and so forth, and get them to throw the work our way. But you have to understand, when you're in partnership with your agents, a lot of times let them do what they do. Let them do what they do. You do what you do and still be friendly. You can still be friends. You can, have lunch or dinner and those kinds of things. Invite them to your parties. And hopefully they're inviting you to theirs. But let your agent and your client handle the booking of you. They may, even if they say, hey, we've got this thing coming up, you'd be perfect for it. I'll give you a call. So, just call my agent. Keep both of those relationships intact. All right. I heard some agents say that they listen to the commercial demo before the video game demo. What have you heard from agents or agencies? I've never heard that, but I have heard, especially in the world of corporate NAIR and e-learning, that a lot of times they will only listen to the commercial demo, or in lieu of you not having an e-learning or narration demo, they'll listen to your commercial demo. I don't think that is the case at all with video games. I don't think the people who are hiring for video games are going to listen to your commercial demo to find out whether you can act. Might love your voice, but commercial reads are very different than character work in video games. And because you can do one doesn't mean that you can do the other. Okay. Hey, Tara, what's up, girl? Jay Turner's watching. Let's go back over here. Does anyone have a foolproof method for... I'm not even going to read the rest of it. First, I'm going to say no. And now I'll find how to get a great agent. Well, the foolproof method is to be really, really good and have a really, really good demo that demonstrates that, and maybe some good friends who are represented by said agent that are, be willing to walk your tape in. And even then, it's not a guarantee. Often agents, no matter how good you are, maybe you are very, very similar, just in the same category that they have several of and who are working. And gosh, I just don't need to bring in another zebra because I got 5 zebras here. Now, if you're an antelope and I'm out of antelopes, now maybe I can take you. And you're a really great antelope. Now I can take you. So there's no surefire way. I'm going to make some suggestions, though. When you're sending out your demos to agents, if you can get a referral from someone, and don't ask for referrals willy-nilly, because when somebody refers you, they're putting their relationship, their reputation on the line. I've got a lot of friends want to do voiceover and have demos that, I'm sorry, I cannot recommend you just yet. Love you, but you're not ready. By the same token, I've had people that I've never met before, heard their demo, it was wonderful. It's like, wow, they need to be. And hey, listen, you need to give this person a listen. And that doesn't even guarantee that they're going to bring you in. So my suggestion is start building relationships with a few agents by sending your demos. If you hear back a no, that's a plus. They thought enough of you to take the time to say no, as opposed to just, I won't worry about that person. If they've said no, send them a thank you note for listening. And keep in contact with them from time to time. If you get some work someplace, send them a little copy of that piece of work. Let them know that you're still looking for an agent. If you get another agent, let them know that somebody else signed you, so they go, damn, that's one I probably should have got. They got away. And that way, maybe when that other agent doesn't work out, if it doesn't, you can come back to somebody else. But it's the long game. It's the long game. That stuff doesn't happen overnight. And salespeople will tell you that it is the fifth. It is the fifth contact with a client where something good happens. So be persistent and patient, work hard, be good, and keep coming back. All right. Say welcome to Juan David, best young voice in Ecuador. Hey, Juan. Dave, how can I design a good demo? Ooh, interesting question. I'm going to speak in general terms because there's so many categories. But what you want to demonstrate is a variety of attitudes, emotions. Say it's a commercial, hard sell, soft sell, a variety of different businesses. If you're doing animation or video games, a variety of characters and a variety of emotions of those characters. We were talking a couple weeks ago about video game demos and what particular characters you should put on. And I mentioned a few, but the video game industry is becoming so vast in terms of the kinds of genres. We have rom-com video games now. So just having a soldier and a wizard and a bad guy and a tough guy and a heavy is not enough. We have a lot of characters who are normal human beings who are put in abnormal situations. All those post-apocalyptic things where you were a school teacher and now you're trying to save the world. So you want to demonstrate different attitudes, different energies, different emotions, different situations. That said, it's a variety of characters you could be. All right. Can you have all your demos on the same web page, or should you have... please don't put them on separate web pages. Do not. I read a book when I was wanting to do my web page, and it said, the book was called Don't Make Me Think. Everybody you know and everybody you don't know is busy, or at least feels like they're busy, and they don't have enough time to do anything, and don't make me do this. Don't make it easy for you, easy for them. I know I'm scrolling through Facebook. If the video is more than 2 minutes long, I don't have 2 minutes of my life. So when they get to your page, make sure that your demos are right there. How to hear your demos and how to contact you are right there. Do not put them on separate pages. Make it easy for them. Okay. In your opinion, what are some of the best iconic VO jobs, projects, gigs in your time in the industry? For example, The Simpsons became, because of the main actors have been paid a boatload of money. Yeah, those guys, I remember when they had to take a pay cut from $8 million a year to $6 million a year. The Simpsons is one of those holy grails of voiceover work. It's been on forever. The pay scale is wonderful. The residuals will last them lifetimes. And the ancillary work from commercials as those characters has put a lot of money in their pockets too. That is not typical. But yes, that would be a holy grail. Being a network promo voice, especially if you get to keep the job for 10 or 15 years. Another great gig that can put from $250,000, $500,000, $1 million in your pocket every year. Being spokes voice for a major automobile manufacturer or a national retail outlet or national fast food or something that plays a lot and goes on forever. Those can be very, very lucrative. And what I suggest people do, you want every job you audition for, I sure do. But what I really enjoy, what I really look for is repeat business. You're going to take every job. The one-offs are great. But if you've got clients that are coming back to you year in and year out, month in, month out, week in, week out, or even, okay, this job's going to last, it's going to be 15, 20 spots over the course of half a year. Repeat business. That's the best work. Okay, let me go back up here. What have we got? Hello. Attitude is key. Jim, I don't know what you were answering there, but it's true. It's very true. There was a time in the 80s. I know when I first came here in 1990, there were some great voices. It was a smaller business then, but some of those great voices could be difficult to work with. You can't do that anymore. Nobody wants to put up with your bullshit. So show up on time, show up with a good attitude, and understand that you are providing a service for them, whatever the job is, and be a professional. Be a professional. Show up, good attitude, do the job. Don't give them headaches. Don't try to make people feel bad. Just do the best job you can do. Try to understand what it is they want from you and give them that. Okay. Different attitudes to show range. Thank you. We're talking different attitudes. I answered a completely wrong question. Different attitudes to show range in your demos. Absolutely. Good catch there, Jim. Thank you for the wisdom so far. Any thought about what happened recently at BAFTA? The voice actress who just received a trophy for Best Voice Acting category was Melina Jurgen. She had never, ever did a voice acting before, and she's not even an actress, and still awarded as best this year. Is that the first time something like that happened? No, I think of Jennifer Lawrence. Jennifer Lawrence has never had an acting lesson in her life. But Jennifer Lawrence came to Hollywood and owns it now. Acting lessons for a lot of actors are going to help you for depending on how much talent you have. There's some people going to take acting lessons. It's not going to do any good. Some people who just need a little bit more in way of acting lessons to get them up to speed. They have a certain amount of talent, but we all come with a different amount of talent and sensitivity to the art. You're going to find singers who never took a singing lesson, actors who never took an acting lessons, who are just amazing, just are. That doesn't mean you particularly shouldn't train. Don't be the guy that, well, I don't want to go to college, so-and-so didn't go to college, Bill Gates didn't go to college, and look at him. Well, you're not Bill Gates. So if that young lady's performance deserved it, so be it. Okay. Hey, down in Brazil, Mr. Silva. Do sites like Fiverr, oh God, what did I put out profession on the line? Do sites like Fiverr put our profession on the line? I don't think so. There's a minor annoyance or a little mosquito there. But typically the people who are hiring people on Fiverr weren't going to hire somebody who's making scale. The reason they're on Fiverr is because they want to save money. They want to get the job done for as little as they can. And I've heard a few times that there are some agencies that will get scratch reads from people on Fiverr and then, of course, never, ever use those people again and have a list. Oh, no, we can't use them. They're on Fiverr. That said, if you have never done any voiceover work and you're trying to get a start, give it a shot. See what you can learn. Maybe you'll make a few dollars. I know early in my career, before I was in the union, there were some wacky jobs I did. There was a TV station up in Northern California, TV 20, and I was one of their promo voices early in my career before I joined the union and came to LA, and it was all the promos you could do for $25 an hour. But it was training ground, and we all have to have some kind of training ground before we step into our grown-up pro shoes. Rama Rodriguez, who is neither Indian nor Spanish. Do not choose the quick and easy path like Darth Vader. A little wisdom there. Okay, let me go back over here. Who's the best person you know to talk to about a voiceover website design? Right off the top of my head, I'm not sure. But here's what I'd do. I would visit a lot of voiceover websites, see the ones you like, and ask them who did their websites, and find that information that way. Do you do radio imaging for foreign clients? I am not doing radio imaging for foreign clients at the moment, but I would be happy to. Why? You got a job for me? Oh, God. Yeah, see, I'm still an actor. Still an actor. Free food, and is there a job? Is there a part in there for me? Hi, Dave. If you had to self-direct, what would be the key components in self-directing to avoid bad habits? Thanks. E from Richmond. Don't over-enunciate. Make whatever it is you're doing very conversational. Talk to one person. Be as real as you can. That would be but there are some genres that maybe aren't quite so real. Maybe they wanted a hard sell. Even then, don't over enunciate. That's a tough question to answer. I'm not sure there really is a good answer. And to a certain extent, on every audition we do, we are self-directing based on information that we got from our agent and the client about what it is they're looking for. And hopefully what your agent is doing is saying, oh, they're looking for ABC. Who are the people I have on my roster that are ABC? Oh, yeah, here's half a dozen of them. And those are the people that get that audition. Sometimes they don't even know that much about what they want. I'm thinking of a commercial, and I don't remember who the client is, that came out a number of months ago, and it went to everybody. They were looking for white guys, black guys, women, women of certain age, young women, millennials, old people. They were looking for everything because they just weren't sure. I heard the spot when it was done, and it was done by a young girl with a very, very young, like 12-year-old voice. I don't know if she was 12 or 2012, but the spot was great. They didn't know what they were looking for, but they certainly found it. So sometimes they don't know. Sometimes they're just searching. Sometimes they're very specific. And your best bet is to try to accommodate whatever it is they're looking for, but really be you. Bring your personal essence to whatever it is you're doing, because nobody is a better you than you. What's radio imaging? That's why I need Fred here, because I take too much of this for granted. Radio imaging are those voices that you hear on a radio station that talk about, you're listening to such and such a station with the hits. That's radio imaging. Those are those voices. And there are a number of people, I do a few stations from time to time. There are a number of people who that's their career. And you hear them on stations around the country. It can be a very lucrative gig, and it's an area that a lot of people are really just becoming aware of. Okay, the advice about self-directing, I think I gave that. We're at 6:50, and I think we're about running out of questions here on Facebook. If you have any more questions, get them in there now. Hey, Linda Bard, how are you? Have you ever been on the other side of the glass to direct or produce? I have. I've done some directing of some smaller animation projects. I would like to direct some video games. I have directed some commercials. And directing is fun, but I don't know if I really still like being a performer. But were I looking at the moment, if I was going to push in the direction of directing at the moment, I'd go for video games. I would enjoy that, and I think I'd be good at it. Are there anybody hiring out there? Okay. You're welcome. There was my student from today. And, I think that's going to wrap it up for today. Let me see any more questions. Now, that just about does it. So, ask Dave Fennoy anything for a Wednesday, the 18th of May, 2018. Back again next Wednesday. And if you have some questions that you wanted an answer to, and you didn't get to it, leave me a note on Facebook or email me, davefennoy@mac.com. I'll try to incorporate that into next time, or maybe if it's personal, I'll answer directly. Sometimes people have questions that are really personal to them and their situation. So that said, see you next time, and book the job, okay? Book it, Dano. Bye. Well, hello, everybody. It's a Wednesday. It's